Hello everyone, how are you? And welcome back to my channel. In case you don't know me, I'm Anita Matu, I'm Cuban, I live in Galicia, and that's it. I invite you to subscribe, give it a like, and do all those things to help me reach 500,000 followers, because we're almost at 500,000 subscribers. And I just can't believe it, so please support me, because if you don't like, if you don't comment, if you don't do those things, I won't upload more videos, okay? Today, I'm going to make a video that I've been asked for a lot, or that people ask me about a lot every time I do a live cooking session and stuff like that. They asked me to make and teach a Cuban meal from scratch, so today I'll show you how. I think I've never made this video before and I've always wanted to do it, but it's going to be twice as interesting because I'm going to show you how to make a Cuban meal. And I also have a very special guest who is from another country, and she's going to be reacting to this food, she's going to tell me what she thinks and all that stuff. I'll introduce today's guest with a magic trick. She'll appear.
Well, finally, Rachel came to visit me in Carvalho.
Finally, I'm in town. I had to come. I wanted to. Well, I'm here now. I really wanted to come here because it's already been 2 years.
2 years being friends and you had never come to my house.
It's just that we always meet up in Coruña because that's where we have our Zara, our coffee shops. But I really wanted to. Because I'm very much a small town girl. I like small towns. I'm not a city person. So this is my vibe. It's my thing.
Rachel is staying at my house today reacting to the town, and I'll show her everything. You'll see some content on her channel, but what we're going to do today is that I'm going to prepare for Rachel, as a good hostess, a 100% Cuban meal. She's from the United States. I don't know if have you tried Cuban food?
Not in the United States. It happened here with you in Madrid. I had never tried it because in Texas it's more Mexican food.
Tex-Mex.
Yes, mostly Tex-Mex with some Mexican. Cuban food seems more common in Florida.
Yes, and you had never been to Florida?
Well, yes, but there we eat hamburgers, things like that.
Well, we're going to make a Cuban meal from scratch. I don't have any of the ingredients, so step number 1 is to go buy all the ingredients. Is there something you especially like about Cuban food?
Oh yes, I love, well maybe it's hard to make, the ropa, what was it called?
Ropa vieja?
That's it. No, but don't do that to me. The
Congress rice?
Yes, the beans with the rice. What's that called? Yes.
Congress rice?
Yes, I suppose.
Okay, so we're going to make congri rice, yuca,
That and the little plantain and that.
ripe plantain, fried or chicharrita, or the one that's smashed tostones.
Anything that, yes, that I like it.
Well, let's do everything from scratch. I'm going to teach you, I'm going to teach Rachel, and she's going to be reacting. And we'll see how it turns out for me. If it's like the ones from restaurants, or if mine turns out worse.
No, because a little love makes it taste better.
We went to Mercadona because here I can find all the ingredients. The black beans, I have them here. The rice I'm using is basmati rice, but you can use any kind. I like it because it turns out fluffy. Bacon to add flavor. I decided to make some fried pork chunks. Here's the yuca that Mercadona has. Wow, it's huge, and by the way, it's really good quality. And the plantain to make the tostones, and that's it. Here are the groceries. We got all the ingredients. I'll make arroz con gris and yuca for you. Plantain and pork chunks. Ropa vieja is difficult to make.
I love everything. You just asked me what my favorite is?
Well, let's get started. Look, the first thing is to start softening the beans, because the beans are obviously hard. So maybe for about half an hour we let them soften. And then we start the whole process, because the very first thing is the beans. Well, the first thing is to put the beans in a pot and leave them for about 30 minutes. And in Cuba, we usually add something like a pork skin, like fried, we call it empala. But since I can't find that here, I'm going to add bacon, which is to give it that little pork flavor like that. In Cuba, almost everything includes pork. While the beans are cooking, I'm going to make the second thing that takes the most time, which is the yuca. Have you never made yuca before?
Me? I don't know what that is. I've never in my life eaten it before. Here.
Really?
No, never.
Well, it's the best and delicious.
Delicious. I like it fried. I like it boiled. You make it boiled, right?
I'm gonna make it boiled.
How delicious with the garlic and everything.
We call it mojito in Cuba.
Mojito, like the drink?
Yes, but it's like a mojo, like mojo canario, which is a sauce, but we make a mojo with garlic, lemon. We call it that too. It's like...
Are you going to add that? How delicious. I love it. I love it.
And this huge yuca, it's so big. Let's do it. It's easy to peel since the skin separates by itself.
Oh, you have to peel it first.
In Cuba, when the cassava is good quality, the skin separates very easily. When we bought cassava and it wasn't good quality, the skin was very hard to remove and we would throw it away because it wouldn't get soft. It was bad quality, like it hadn't finished ripening or something like that.
Ah, okay, so this is like a potato.
It's a tuber.
Of course, a tuber.
But the ones I buy at Mercadona are usually very good.
Yes, and it's from Cuba. They grow it in Cuba, right?
Yes, but
Is it from a tropical area?
the Aborigines used to eat this. Before the Spanish arrived in Cuba, they had a traditional food called casabe, which was like this, but like in a tortilla made of this or something like that. Here we have the yuca. We put it in water like this, add a little salt, and that's it. Then we boil it until it's soft. You have to keep an eye on it.
It looks a bit like plantain.
Okay, Rachel. When the yuca is boiling, there's a technique called scaring the yuca, which is it's boiling, then calm, then boiling again. Suddenly you dump the hot water and add cold so that it opens up, separates like that, you know. So now we add the cold water and that's called scaring the yuca.
It's like scaring the octopus, right?
Like scaring the octopus, but we scare the yuca. Let's see. We chop garlic and onion and leave half for the yuca and the other half for the congri. Now the beans are soft. Now what I do is take the water from the beans and separate it, you know. It's very difficult, I think. This food, right? Yes, it takes too much work. In the United States, do you all like everything faster? Because you work a lot. You work more.
That's true.
So it's like you need things to be faster. For us, we take it easy, okay? We take it easy. Now I'm going to separate the water and pour it in here.
Okay.
So only the grains will be left here. And with the grains, I'm also going to add the washed rice.
Okay.
And then I add, for example, if I added 2 cans of rice, I'm going to add 2 cans of bean water. And then the sofrito. I'll show you gradually since it's difficult. When you wash the rice, you mix it with the beans and add the same amount of bean water as the cans of rice. I'm not sure I'm making sense. If I add 2 of rice, I'll add 2 of beans. I use pork lard for its delicious flavor, and we'll use half to make the bean sofrito. Remember that the other half is for the yuca. And I add bacon too, and I mix all of this together. The flavors, they're all going to blend. This turns out delicious. I add plenty of cumin for great flavor, plus a little salt to taste. I prefer just a bit of salt. And you can't forget the bay leaf. Bay leaves also give it a really nice flavor. It reminds me of my home, my house. We cover it for about 15 minutes and I think it will be ready. Now we'll prepare the pork pieces. I'll use pork lard too as it adds great flavor. I only added salt and fried it in lard. It still turns out delicious. Now I'll make tostones, Rachel's favorite, as shown here. We eat this often in Cuba. When I took Rachel for Cuban food, she loved it.
Yes, I love it. It's not very sweet, but a little sweet, right? Or is it more salty, right?
More salty, like a cracker.
Yes, and you fry it a little.
Now I'm going to show you how it's done. Let's see. This is a typical Cuban dish, but the reality is that nowadays in Cuba, it's very rare to be able to cook this because of the shortages and all that. But usually, at parties, a birthday, a visit, when someone comes to see you, we always make this typical dish. Especially at the end of the year, Christmas and things like that, which, for example, nowadays is very hard to find.
Of course, and they're very expensive.
There's simply no food now. As a child, there was scarcity, but you could still find some things. But nowadays, it's super mega impossible, so this is practically a luxury to make this food in Cuba.
Yeah, and it's Cuban food. It's your own cuisine, and you can't even make it.
Exactly. Anyway, I want to show you the cuisine. Although, if you go to Cuba just to eat these things, you'd have to go to a restaurant, you know? It would be a bit difficult to do that over there in Cuba at home.
So only outsiders eat it, not people in Cuba, right? Like the people from Cuba who have gone to the United States and Spain.
It's sad, but that's reality. A good plantain is easy to explain. It's green, so we make lines on it like this, you know? All of this is a bit wild. Everything is...
And with the yuca, she would also go bam, bam. And I was like, seriously, you're going to cut yourself.
See? The peel comes off on its own, and then I can keep going by hand.
It's tough, isn't it?
Yes.
Much tougher than a banana? Because you can't eat that raw, can you?
No, of course not. It's not a fruit banana. It's like a banana for cooking. But if it's a good banana, then you can peel it with your hand. See? Like this. You just make the little cuts like I did, and then it comes off by itself.
Super curious.
And that's how it is.
That's intense. It's just that my mother never, well, no one in the United States does. Well, Cubans do, but it's not really a dish in our cuisine.
It's interesting to see.
Yeah, because you think bananas and you do this, but no, that would be disgusting, right?
Not that. Now we cut this into little cubes like this.
Let's see.
That's it. You just cut them into lots of little cubes like this, and we fry them like that. And then when it's like halfway, not so fried, but halfway cooked, we take it out, we smash it. I smash it with a glass, a cup. Oh, I'm gonna show you now. And then you fry it again so it gets even crispier.
But you also cook it with oil, right? Like a little bit at the beginning.
No, not with a lot. I chop it like this, more or less like this, into cubes. Okay, now it's fried, see? But no, not too much. Then I take it and mash it. Like this, and it's done, see?
How delicious, it's perfect.
But you have to do that to all of them. Do you want to make one?
Yes.
It's at the perfect point because if it wasn't cooked well, everything would just fall apart. Oh, Rachel, she's going to do it.
Let's see, like this.
Perfect. Yours turned out better than mine. It didn't stick.
Let's see this one, which is thicker.
Well, perfect. You're now officially graduated in Cuban cooking. So there's some salad, let's chop up a little avocado too, and that's it. After 80 hours of preparation, well, the Cuban food is finally ready. So Rachel is going to react to my food. Let's see how it turned out. All right, little salad, little yuca, little plantain, and over here we have the meat, and let's check out the congee. Well, it turned out perfect. Let's serve Rachel the Cuban dish. Let's see.
How beautiful. Wow, wow.
But it looks even nicer when you pour everything in. Shall we make a mini... okay. Yeah, like putting everything on the plate, you know? Okay, Rachel, do the honors, try it.
I'm amazed. I wish you could smell this. Let's see, what should I try first? The congrees, right?
We eat it all together, like a spoonful of rice with the meat, with the yuca, and then we take a bite of the plantain.
Yes, we do the same in the United States too, and I explained it in a video when I made the one about my family's ranch, that when we have barbecues, the plates look the same, like all mixed together because the flavors go well together.
Of course, mixing everything together is how it tastes good.
Wow, no, it's here. Even better than a restaurant, right? No, she can cook.
Let's see.
So now I'm going to try the yuca with the rice.
And take a bite of the plantain.
Okay.
If you don't mix it all together, you're not Cuban.
It's delicious. Let's see now.
Bite the banana.
Wow, no, this is, I swear, one of my favorite foods. I've had Cuban food like 3 or 4 times, and it's one of my favorite foods. I don't know why. It's similar. There's a flavor that's kind of like Tex-Mex, like the rice and beans. We eat it a lot.
And do you add cumin? Because we add cumin.
Yes.
It's probably the cumin.
This has cumin.
Of course, I put in a lot.
It's delicious. Let's see, this pork, what's this called?
Fried pork pieces.
Maceta?
Masita, like a dough of pork. But that's what we call it, fried pork masita.
It's so delicious. And do you have Spanish food in Cuba? Are there Spanish restaurants or not? In the United States, there's nothing. There's nothing.
In Cuba, restaurants are mostly Italian, like pizza and spaghetti, or serve Creole, which is Cuban food. There aren't any Spanish ones or anything like that, no.
And what about American ones?
Hamburgers? Yes, there are burger places, but no, it's not like here, where you can just go. I feel like going to a Colombian place. That doesn't exist in Cuba because there are no immigrants or foreigners, only Cubans. Do you understand? Few outsiders visit, mainly to study. Immigration to Cuba is extremely rare.
Yes, I just learned that recently and didn't know before. In Texas, there's a rivalry between Dallas and Houston. We kind of dislike each other. But then my friend told me that I'm from Dallas. She told me that Houston is the city with some of the best cuisine in the world. Well, in the United States, because it's the most diverse city. There are more immigrants from all over the world, so they have all those cuisines. So now I've forgiven Houston a little, since I'm sure some of you live in Houston.
Well, we're going to eat now because we're dying to eat. I love you all so much, but let's go eat. I don't know if I should end the video here. Maybe I should, right? Well, I hope you liked it, that you learned how to make Cuban food, and that you really enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, all that stuff.
Yes, please.
And Rachel's channel, which I'll link here too.
The work she just did deserves a like.
It's just that since we arrived, what time did we get here?
I think it's already taken a while too.
2 hours, 2.5 hours, cooking non-stop.
Non-stop.
Not even a second.
Like, subscribe, and see you next week with a new video.
Bye.
Goodbye.